Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world today. I hope you're okay. Just let's take a moment of silence for those affected in America and around the world right now with all that's going on. It's tough times. A quick question I've got for you is if you're able to help, how are you able to help? Not only in now moments and the near future. I'm doing what I can, of course, to work with AI to bring the forecasting of the future of markets tangibly available to those in need, to activate them to do better for others. Today's topic, by the way, is managing your stop losses. So, for me, the big challenge of opening up large positions is, will price stop me out and kill my position? So where to set your stop loss on your higher time frames is on the previous or the nearest high or low, confirmed high or low, that is. I hope that made sense. So where there's a confirmed turning point, that's where you set your stop loss, especially on the higher frames. As you saw over here, price exited what I call this kill zone area, which is where you shouldn't open up a position because that's where it kind of kills your open trade. If it's not correctly formed, I've got modules on that. I won't speak about that right now. However, see how price is outside of that zone and then drops down to this lower support level, gets back onto the 1/1 and starts to build again. So my stop loss for both my positions are sitting behind this point, and I just didn't even dare to look at the screen when checking my account because watching price go so close towards it often instills fear and you want to close your position. So once I've opened my position, I just don't look at it for these reasons. So luckily, it magnetized back onto this 1/1 support line and started to build upwards. In terms of stop losses on lower frames over here, where would you say that you put it? If you open a position, let's say, for example, you want to get in over here, where do you put your stop loss? Do you put it there? Do you put it there? Do you put it just somewhere deep to keep it tight? Where do you put that stop loss? Well, what I've done and recommend, sorry guys, this one's over 3 minutes, but I do want you to hear this part about the stop loss. What I do is when getting into a trade, I find the nearest second to where my trade is, turning point, and use that as my stop loss. So say it differently. As you should know by now, there are 10 turning points per cycle. So you've got that low going to the following high. Sorry, for some reason that didn't work. So turning point 10 goes to turning point 1. Turning point 1 goes to turning point 2. Turning point 2 goes to turning point 3. I'm very surprised that just simple applications of trend lines are difficult to use in TradingView right now. All right, so that's turning point 3. So going back to the question, if I wanted to go long here, I'm not sure, the tools aren't working because maybe I'm running the camera, so maybe I should probably turn that off next time. But if I'm going long here where my mouse is circling, then I wouldn't set my stop loss here because that's way too high risk. I would maybe consider it over here. But depending on the position size, if it's a larger position size, I'd put it back here. So if I'm putting in more than $500 on this trade, my stop loss goes back here. If it's above 300 over here, anything less than that, I wouldn't entertain. So look for deeper stop losses on the lower time frames. And then over here, if you're setting a stop loss, put it behind the recent turning point, and then basically set and forget and allow it to accrue the value and profit that that transition deserves. So that's basically where I put the stop losses. Just taking a step back, how are you contributing to those in need right now? Are you working towards that? Are you working toward a cause bigger than yourself? And the original question, well, the original way we started this was, if you get a spare minute later, just send some love, light, energy, compassion, and thought to those whose lives are being changed overnight unfairly. And to that, I say goodbye for now, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.